Hello guys and good morning from my country number 45, which is the Republic of Albania. As you can see, this is the Tirana International Airport and I just arrived on it. My plane landed around 15 minutes ago. So what's the idea here? I am here for a long weekend, completely alone in a new country. And I have the ambitious goal to visit 3 different cities for 3 days, which are Durrës, Berat and of course the capital Tirana. And I will show you the most interesting places in these cities, or at least what I can do for the few hours that I will have in each of these. So far my impressions are pretty good. I'm here from only 15 minutes, but the immigration control was really quick. They just asked me where I'm going and that was it. No problem at all. And I also managed to exchange money. By the way, here at the airport the exchange rates are expectedly not very good. But there is one exchange called Illyria 98, which has the best rate here. They gave me a rate of 91.7 lek is the Albanian currency for €1, which is okay compared with the mid-market rate, which today is around 93. Maybe I can get a bit better at Durrës, but I prefer to have some money with me from the beginning. So here you can see this is some kind of a bus station. I need to find the bus which is going towards Durrës, so let me check and after that I will continue. So guys, let me give you some useful information. Here in the distance you can see the exit from the airport, and when you just continue straight you come to this big bus station. So if you are wondering where are the buses for Tirana, here they are. You can see airport to Tirana, and you can also check their timetable here. They also have a fixed price, which is pretty good. But I need another bus because I'm not going to Tirana. And I think that this one in front of me, which is the Addis travel bus towards the Durrës, is the one that I need. Most probably I will be able to buy tickets directly from the driver, because I don't see anyone selling tickets for this bus, but let's see. Well guys, I just arrived at the Durrës bus station. Let me show you how it looks. This is it. As you can see, there are a lot of different buses here, some small ones, some big ones, and generally this is the main bus station of Durrës. But there is another one which I'm gonna use tomorrow to reach the southern parts of the country. Anyway, while I'm talking about the bus itself, let me tell you what was the price of it. The price of the bus from the Tirana airport to Durrës is just 600 Albanian lek, which is approximately something like €6, something like that. It is paid only in cash, and you directly pay the driver either in euro or in Albanian lek. So that's about it. The bus needed around 40-45 minutes to reach Durrës, so it is a short trip. Now the temperature here is already around 25 degrees according to my phone. I definitely feel it hotter, but yeah, after all it is July, so it's not uncommon. Now my accommodation will allow early check-in around 1 p.m. and it is now 9 a.m. so I have a few hours to spend and show you some interesting places in the city while the heat is not so intense. So let me reach maybe the first one should be the port, and after that I have also prepared you some historical objects to show. It turned out that it is not so easy to get to the port because It is a guarded area, so I decided instead to check for a traditional breakfast, and this place seems to be good for this. It is called Director and it is a chain of stores. What you see here is called Birek and it is traditional Albanian breakfast with different fillings. So let's check what we have. So guys, here is how it looks from the inside and here is my food. This is called Birek with meat and I also bought an ayran. Let me just put you on a tripod that you can see. Well, I think that this angle is pretty good. So let's check what we have. This is how it looks. Let me check it. This is very delicious. It is still hot, obviously they made it pretty soon. And the price of it, together with the ayran, is just 220 Albanian lek, which is a little bit more than €2. I find it very affordable. And they also speak very good English here, so highly recommended place for breakfast. So guys, let me also show you their money, how they look. This is the 500 and this is the 1000. These are the only ones that I currently have. They also have 200, 2000 and 5000 is the biggest. And here is how the coin looks. 100 lek is the biggest coin that they have, which is around €1. While I'm slowly walking towards the Roman amphitheater, which is our first historical object, let me show you how the Durrës, central Durrës itself looks. This is some kind of famous street with a lot of restaurants, shops, cafes and so on. As you can see, there are a lot of people here, which is pretty normal considering that it is Saturday. But so far my impressions from the city are pretty good. So guys, as you know, I like to explore also the beer of the different countries which I visit, and I always start with the mass brands to check what they have. So now I just passed through a supermarket and I found this. Generally, Albania has three popular beer brands. One is Korča, the second is Tirana, and the third one is this. I think it is pronounced Peja, but I'm not 100% sure about that. Anyway, this beer actually comes from Kosovo, not from Albania, but it is hugely popular also in Albania. So let's check what we have. Well, frankly, I don't like it. I hate to say this for a beer, but here only the name says Pilsner. It has nothing to do with a proper Pilsner. But anyway, I suppose that for the equivalent of around 85 euro cents, you can't expect too much. So yeah, we tried it. I will drink it, and most probably I will not order such thing again here. Many of you maybe think, why I'm drinking on the street? Isn't this illegal in Albania, as it is predominantly Muslim country? But I have checked this and no, it is not illegal to drink at public places at all. And in fact, the situation with the religions in Albania is a bit interesting. Yes, around 50% of the population are Muslims, that's correct, and around 16-17% are Christians. But there is also a huge portion of people, around 33%, which are either atheist or has some other religion. That's why generally Albania is a very secular country, and there is absolutely no problem to drink at public places. Of course, you should not get totally drunk and do stupid things, because this will be punished in every country in the world. But there is absolutely no problem to open a beer in the park or something like that. So let me reach to the Roman amphitheater and show this to you. I am almost at the Roman amphitheater now, but I want to show you how cool this neighborhood is. Just look at this combination of old and new buildings and these narrow streets. I really like such type of neighborhoods. And yeah, Durrës so far looks pretty cool to me. I like coastal cities with sea. It is relatively clean. You can see trash on the floor or something like that. You have some interesting local stores here. So far my impressions from Albania are pretty good. Just look at these beautiful palm trees. This definitely doesn't look like Europe to me. It looks more like the African coast with these very beautiful trees. And here you can see this is I think the biggest mosque in Durrës. After all, around 50% of the people are Muslims, so it is pretty normal to have at least one big mosque. And I think that I just need to cross the street without anybody hitting me. And from these stairs, which are right next to the mosque, I think that we should be able to see the amphitheater also. So let me check if this is correct. And after that I will also need to find the entrance, buy tickets and so on. But I think that we should have pretty good view from here, so that we know what to expect. Yeah, we will definitely have a good view from here. This is the amphitheater of Durrës. It is not in best shape, but after all, it is pretty old. And it is a relatively big one. I think that I see the ticket office in the distance, and I will have to walk around the amphitheater. So while I'm showing it to you from all angles, let me give you some information. This amphitheater was built in the 2nd century after Christ during the rule of Emperor Trajan, and in fact it was the biggest amphitheater at the Balkans at that time. It could accommodate around 20,000 people, which is really huge for that time. After that, around 5th century, it was no longer used as an amphitheater and it was abandoned. And an early Christian basilica was built right inside it and blended with the ruins. So it was an interesting blend. You have a Roman base, then you have a Christian basilica, and after that all of this was abandoned, and it was discovered by chance in 1966. At that time some excavations for the garden of a private house were done at this place, and they found the ruins and of course excavated it fully and tried to conserve it as much as possible. Generally, this is what we can see from the outside, and of course I will also show you the inside, but let me first buy a ticket and then we continue. So guys, I just entered. Here you can see some pictures as well as a diagram showing how this place looked during its peak. As you can see, it was really massive, and the price of the ticket is just 300 lek, which is around €3, which I find very affordable. So now we have the option to go to the left, I think. Let's see what exactly we will encounter. At least the woman that sold me the ticket told me to go on the left. Maybe this is the way it should be done. Interesting. Okay, let me see what we have and how we go over it, and after that I will get back to you. Here you can see, guys, the very interesting way that this amphitheater was built, because it is a combination of rocks and small bricks. This is the typical way that Romans and later Byzantians used to build their buildings. As you can see, we have one rock layer, then we have bricks, and then we have another rock layer and bricks and rock and so on. And you can really feel the scale of this place. It is impressive even now in its current condition, and I can only imagine how it looked during the Roman times when there were 20,000 people here. Let me also show you the inner courtyard. Here it is. We are now at the lowest level. You can see this level from where people are coming is where the ticket office was. And here these parts were used by the gladiators and people who were preparing to enter the main stage and do their fights and whatever. As you can see, here you have direct access towards the main stage. And here you can see the Christian chapel, which was built much later when the theater was no longer used as such. And we also have some preserved mosaics here, which you can see. They are very beautiful. And here we have some information, but because there are a lot of people, I won't go into much details. You can check if you want later from the video. So let me also check the other part. Now from here, guys, you can see the amphitheater in its full glory. It was really massive structure, and it is even today. Let's check what else interesting we can find here. This is some kind of chamber, which I'm not sure for what exactly it was used. But anyway, it's still interesting to see and very slippery. We are now in the main part of the arena, and you can feel just the way that the gladiators felt when they were here fighting with each other. And you can imagine this place is full of people, and you have around 15,000, 20,000 people just exactly in front of you, watching and cheering and so on. In this end we have a really big, massive tunnel. Let me get inside it so that you can see how big this place is. It is really huge. This is at least, I don't know, maybe 4 to 5 meters high. And it is a really great example of early Roman architecture, especially with these bricks. This arch is made out of small bricks. You can see how well this thing was built, as it is still standing almost 2000 years later. This is the furthest point where we can go, and with one more beautiful panoramic view of the whole theater, I think it is about the right time to go back to the entrance, which is also an exit, and find some other interesting places in the city. If you come to Durrës, I definitely recommend visiting this Roman amphitheater. The price is very affordable, so that's about it from here. Here is the official entrance with the prices for the tickets. As you can see, it is clearly written 300 lek for adults, and it is open every day from 9 AM to 7 PM. And very interesting thing is that this Roman amphitheater is inside the neighborhood. There are a lot of houses all around it, and yeah, it is very beautiful to have such an ancient piece of history right inside your neighborhood. Here you can find some more excavations, and that's pretty much about it from this place. The blend of history in this city of Durrës is really great and really unique. You can see the mosque in the distance from much recent times. Here are the ruins from the Roman theater, and just right next to this is our next object, which is from the Byzantine times. You can see this massive city wall, and you can think that being as close to the amphitheater as it is, just a few meters, it is part of it and it was built by the Romans, but no, this is not the case. This city wall, let me first show you how massive it is. This thing is at least 3 meters thick, maybe even more. So this wall was built by Emperor Anastasius I, who was born here in the city of Durrës and ruled the Byzantine Empire in the late 5th century. So when he became an emperor, he decided that he will modify his home city to become one of the strongest fortresses on the Adriatic. And you can see that he achieved this because this wall is, I don't know, maybe around 10 meters high or even more, and at least 3 meters thick. So you can imagine how much effort and of course money were needed to build all of this. But it is really impressive. You have Roman theater right next to it. You have the Byzantine walls, and behind is the mosque. Here on the Balkans we have so much history blending together, so it is a great thing to explore it. And this section of the wall is even higher. This is at least 15 meters. Just look at how well preserved this great city wall is from the Byzantine times. These are not just a few fragments here and there which are preserved. This is the whole city wall, even with the tower. It is absolutely amazing to see such an old structure in such a good shape. And speaking about this great Byzantine wall and the mix of different historical heritage places here in Durrës, we continue with one more interesting place, which I'm first gonna show you from the outside, and then I will also try to get inside. So what you see just right in front of me is the so-called Venetian Tower, because the Republic of Venice also controlled this region for a relatively short time at the end of 15th century, and when they conquered the city, they decided to build this tower as a main defense against the Ottoman incursions in the region. After all, the Ottomans managed to conquer the city later, but this tower is a really beautiful example of Venetian architecture, and I will also try to get inside. What I really like so far for the Albanian tourist places is that they have clearly stated prices right at the entrance. There is absolutely no trying to fool you or extract more money or something like that. And here you can see the exact scheme of the Byzantine wall, Byzantine fortifications, and the Venice wall here, which was built at the one end of it. And here we also have some more information. Here we also have the opening hours. As you can see, it doesn't work at Monday, so if you want to come here, you should consider this. So guys, this is the first floor where you buy the tickets, and they also create multimedia show here, but it is only 2 times a day, at 11 a.m. in Albanian and at 1 p.m. in English, and it requires additional ticket. The other thing that you can do is to climb to the roof, which I'm currently doing. As you can see, this is typical medieval staircase with very steep steps, and when you climb it, you can see a beautiful panorama of the city. You can see the sea, which I'm gonna show you from up close in a in the next few minutes. Here you can see the Byzantine wall also. This massive structure is really thick. From here, from above, you can really feel it. And you can also see the port where I wanted to go in the earlier part of the day, in the morning, but unfortunately couldn't because it is a closed area. And here we also have, I don't know, maybe this is some kind of a football fan zone for the World Cup. It looks like such. Overall, very good idea by the municipality. So that's pretty much about it, what you can see from here. The panorama is good. Does it deserve the 600 lek entrance fee? Well, for me it does, but everybody can see for himself. So guys, this is the beginning of the promenade along the Atlantic. As you can see, this place is very beautiful, and there is even a beach here. Some people are having a sunbath. I bet that at the evening there will be a lot more people here, because now simply the weather is too hot. But I want to show you the beautiful Adriatic Sea. This is one of the most beautiful seas that I have ever seen. There are even some street musicians performing. And here is how the sea itself looks. The air here is very fresh, very pleasant despite the heat. And you can see in the distance a lot of big ships which are going to different destinations. So let me enjoy the beautiful weather here, and after that I will also show you a good traditional restaurant which I found. So guys, when you watch this beautiful Adriatic Sea, when you feel the fresh air coming from it, what is the best thing that you can do in this heat? Well, to crack open a cold beer. And we are continuing our exploration of the standard Albanian beers. This one that you see here is called Bira Korça. Here you can see it. And it is the oldest mass-produced beer in Albania since 1928. So let me check it. This one is definitely much better than the one that I tested in the morning. This one is again pretty standard lager, but it is on the good side. Nothing to write home about, but definitely drinkable. So far, from the three mass-produced beers in Albania, one was bad, one is okay, or I can even say good, and later we will also check the third one.